Good morning. It's Monday morning. We continue today at Matthew 8:28. When he came to the other side, to the country of the Gadarenes, two demon-possessed men met him coming out of the tombs, so fierce that no one could pass that way. And behold, they cried out, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Now a herd of many pigs was feeding at some distance from them, and the demons begged him, saying, "If you cast us out, send us away into the herd of pigs." And he said to them, "Go." So they came out and went into the pigs.
I have a call for extension 101.
They came out and went into the pigs, and behold, the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned in the waters. The herdsmen fled, and going into the city, they told everything, especially what had happened to the demon-possessed men. And behold, all the city came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their region. Well, there's a lot of things in that story that are kind of puzzling to a lot of people. First is very simple. It's how do you spell the country of the Gadarenes or the Gerasenes or whoever it is? In the three Gospels, we've got at least three different names for those people. So the Gospel writers were not necessarily locals, especially Luke. And so they didn't necessarily get the name right. And that's okay unless you grew up in a really fundamentalist sort of background where you think that whatever the Bible says must be true. And in that case, you're going to have these problems because it's different. And so if it's different, what does that mean? No, let's forget about that. In the ancient world, demon possession was a thing that was diagnosed a lot of times. We would probably say these people were mentally ill or schizophrenic or something like that. In those days, it was demon possession, and there were complicated rituals that sometimes would help. Jesus just says, "Go," and the demons leave the men, and go into the pigs. Well, what did the poor pigs do to Jesus? Nothing, except that the Jews didn't care for pork, didn't like pork, didn't eat pork, didn't think it was anything to be messed with. It was an unclean food, an unclean animal. And so for Jesus to do this really does kind of mean something is almost humorous. He cast it into a bunch of pigs, yeah. And the pigs run into the sea, and of course they drown. And the demons somehow drown with the pigs. I don't really understand. Why wouldn't the demons just then be flying around? Well, so what does Jesus do, though? He frees these two men from the demons that have possessed them. The previous story, he had authority over the chaos of the sea. Now he has authority over the supernatural forces of evil, which is a comforting thing for all of us. He's also, he's freeing them. One commenter says he kind of frees them from the demon of materialism in giving the demons into the pigs and letting the pigs rush over the cliff and die. And the people, of course, freak out and say, "You get away from us. You've ruined our livelihood. We don't want you here. We'd rather have our pigs. We'd rather have our herds. We'd rather have our income and our livelihood and our lifestyle than the Messiah of God." There's something for us to think about there. At what point does our desire for the life that we're comfortable with conflict with the demands of the gospel and the call of Jesus? Yikes. Okay, see you tomorrow.